Here's how Growth Agency tracks their time in Monday.com with Tracket. Team members can log time in two ways: directly on an item itself with the item view, or in their personal timesheet overview. Let's start at the item level. If you click on an item, Tracket Log Time directly opens up. Here you can make time entries, either directly on the item or on a sub-item. Select a date, category, the amount of hours you've worked, and here you can differentiate between billable hours and normal hours. A description is optional. Once you log the time, it will show up at the overview of the item right here, and this also tells us the total hours that have been logged on this specific item. It's also possible to use a manual time tracker. So Growth Agency sometimes wants to know very specific, to the minute, how much time has been spent on a task. And there they use the manual time tracker for. In the item bar itself, we can see the total effort spent compared to the planned effort. And this is how Growth Agency knows if they're still on track with their projects and the related tasks, thus optimizing their projects. Let's move on to the timesheet overview. Here's a board time tracking, where the timesheet overview has been installed. This is the personal timesheet of each and every team member. Each team member has access to their personal timesheet, and here they can see the total hours they have logged in this week compared to their capacity for the week. Time entries on all items are displayed here, together with the categories and the amount of hours. New time entries can quickly be made by clicking on the time slot and adding the hours. You can also change existing ones. If an item is still missing that you haven't logged time on, you can use the plus button right here and select an item from any board that is available to you. We've also got suggested combinations, which makes it even easier. Once a week is done, last week for example, the team member can submit his or her timesheet to the approver. As an approver, meaning you are the team admin, you have extra rights within Tracket. Here we have the team section. And we see approvals. Now this is a built-in feature within Tracket, and here the team admin can approve the submitted timesheets. As we can see, both Bas and Lucas submitted their timesheet last week. Now the approver can view it, approve it, and reject it, and add a note why it's rejected. This ensures the right hours have been logged and billing is going accurately and well. As a team admin, you have also access to timesheets, where you can see each and every timesheet of all the team members within your team. This is Danielle, for example, and she's in design. She logged these hours in the last week. With reports, Growth Agency creates meaningful and insightful reports in the hours they have worked. This helps them to optimize their projects, bill their clients the right hours, and become better at planning future projects. Here we see an overview of all the hours each team member has worked throughout the week. And we can also get insight in the categories, for example, or the items. Now this gives us a lot of information. Every item is displayed with the related hours that have been logged. So we added a group by feature. And this is how Growth Agency uses the reporting functionality themselves, as this gives a better overview. I'll show you what I mean. So if we group by board, we can then see all the boards that have been logged time on together with the items. Growth Agency uses their boards, and each board represents a project. So here they know how many hours have been spent on each and every project. Now, there are a lot of variables available and you can add multiple groups, even up to 3 layers. So this gives you all the insight you need to become better at planning projects, etc. There's also a filter option available, allowing you to get very specific with your search. Then this is just a weekly overview. Now, it's also possible to have a monthly overview or a quarterly, even for a year. Let's see how a monthly overview looks like. This gives us all the days and the related hours, and we can scroll through it. Now, this can be a bit overwhelming, so we've added display options. And with display options, you can select a week as a column, and that will give a much more clearer overview of the month. Growth Agency then exports this report to Excel with the export functionality and uses this to share it with clients or internally during meetings and team discussions. Lastly, we have admin functionalities available that help you to improve your overall experience with Tracket. In fields, you can set up which fields are required to fill out when making a time entry and add the categories, like I added to the first time entry I made. You can make these categories yourself, right here. Growth Agency made them based on their departments, but you could basically add categories for anything you like to get insight in. In work schedules, you can add a holiday schedule, showing the public holidays in your region directly in your timesheet. And with exports, there's a complete export functionality available, pushing all time entries to an Excel. Lastly, there's also an API available. So should you want to automate the process of extracting Tracket's time entries to third-party software, like your billing software, for example, this is possible. And this is actually a functionality Growth Agency uses to make everything run smoothly, efficient, and effective. Well, this is in short how Growth Agency uses Tracket to keep track of time in Monday.com. It ensures they stay productive, bill their clients the right hours, and become better at planning future projects. Thank you for watching.